Hello, and welcome. I'm gonna give it a second. I'm hoping my internet connection is working okay. Anytime it storms in Georgia, the internet connection isn't great, and it is pouring outside. I don't know if you can hear the rain coming down, but it's a little crazy. Anyways, I'm gonna give it a second, and okay, good. People are popping on. Say hi as you're jumping on, so I know you're here, and I know things are working, and that I'm coming through loud and clear. Hello, Mackenzie. Hello, Ashley. Hello, Jeannie. Hi, Princess. Hello, Michelle. Welcome. Oh my goodness. Okay, you guys, I am so excited to be talking about Instagram today. It has been a hot minute since I have done a live video about Instagram, and we're going to talk a little bit about why that is. But say hi to jumping on. I want to make sure I can see comments. I don't know if comments are coming through. Let's see. I can see comments on here. You can't hear the rain? Okay. All right. I can see comments on my phone, which is fine. So I will just continue to look at my phone, and it's fine. It'll be fine. Okay. So just FYI, I did not get good sleep last night. So if you can see the bags under my eyes, is tough. It was tough. Allergies are not fun. They're not fun. But let's talk about Instagram. Today we're going to talk about 5 different things to help you monetize and grow your Instagram. You guys, I am falling back in love with Instagram, and I want to talk about it. I want to share it with you. Who here has an Instagram? I want you to drop your Instagram handle if you have an Instagram, because we can follow each other, we can network with each other, and we can have some fun on Instagram. But Instagram is up, I wouldn't say up and coming because it's already up and came, it's here. But it's really going to be a beneficial platform for those of you who have personal brands. Okay, if you have a business, if you have a brick and mortar business, or you have an e-commerce business, it's good for you to have an Instagram, but personal brands are going to be it's going to be exponentially more helpful for personal brands due to stories, because stories are everything on Instagram. So I don't even know if I'm getting comments on my phone now, but it's fine. We'll just keep watching. So let's dive into it. The 5 different things we're going to be talking about today is content, stories, your profile, hashtags, and DMs. So those are the 5 things we're going to be covering today. And I'm going to give you a basic overview. I'm not going to go super in depth because I want to do a day-by-day training of this. If that's something that you want, I want you to comment with a 1. If you'd be like, yes, Haley, please give me a day-by-day, more in-depth training, like a 5-day Instagram training, drop a 1 for me. Let me know in the comments. Hello, Cheryl. Hi, Christine. Hi, Samantha. Hi, Jen. Welcome. Still, we'll see if comments they are coming through. I'm just not seeing them, so that's really fun. It's all right. It's all right. All the Instagram links are coming through now. They're all coming through now. All right, so first, let's talk about your profile. I think that's the most important one. Your profile. So many people have a profile that does not speak to what they do. Your profile should include something that is going to take your ideal audience that might be glancing your profile because they found you through a hashtag, or somebody tagged you in a post, or somebody tagged you in a story. You want to have something that's going to be like, oh, I should follow them immediately. And that means that you're also going to have story highlights on your profile that are going to make people say, oh, they produce high quality content. Yes, I want that. So make sure that your profile is set up in a way that you're bringing in those, that when people are seeing your profile, they're like, yes, I want to follow that person. That it has your I help statement, that it goes through your marketing message, right? Who's your ideal client? What is the thing that you're going to do for them? And what is your title? All of those things need to be included in your profile. You need to have that in your profile so that people can follow you and they can be like, oh, okay, this, we're good. I got this. So they can follow you and say, and really engage with you and continue to want to find your profile. Okay. So that is profile. You need to have a good, what do you guys like? What questions do you have about profile? I want to hear them. I want to hear your questions. I'm going to go through literally updating my highlights right now. Yes. Good. Maybe I'm just going to, it's so funny to me that this is not updating. I don't understand. Internet, why are you not working? Why are you not working? I demand that you work. I do not have time. And here we go. Now they're working. Okay, I think we got them working, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, keep those comments rolling in so that I can keep checking if things are working. Anyways, so if you have questions about profile, I want to hear them. It's really basic. You just need to have a picture of you. You need to be there, right? Personal brand. Your face needs to be on it. It needs to have your I help statement. And you need to really give them a reason. I like to have my profile linked to my group specifically, but you can set it up. I love Linktree. I love like the links in bio where you can have multiple things. You can have multiple ways to capture those leads. So you can set that up for your bio. Oh, good. Jeannie just asked, say again what it should include. But so that's it for your profile for the most part. And I want to do like a more in-depth training on this. But I'm just giving you like right now, you need to have that done. You need to have something set up that's going to look good for your ideal clients. All right, so the next thing that I want to talk about is content. I want you to drop a 2 if you are struggling with content on Instagram. If you're like, I'm kind of posting, but it's not really getting good engagement, or I'm posting, but I don't really know if it's doing anything, drop me a 2. I want to know. This is another thing that I see people having a hard time with on Instagram. Instagram is less of the fluff stuff, especially if you're a business, if you're trying to like educate people, if you're trying to show them, you know, your products or your offerings, if you're trying to get them engaged with you on that level, you need to have more high quality content that's actually teaching them something. Okay. So you want to have connecting content, something that makes them say, oh, me too. You want to have inspiring content. So, let me see these questions. Is your group in Facebook? Yeah, my group, my link on my Instagram is my Facebook group. It's linked to my Facebook group. But you want to have connecting content. You want to have inspiring content. This goes the same across all platforms. You want to have teaching content, and you also want to have sales content. And I'm going to tell you something. Posting every day on Instagram is not as important as having stories every day. Is that crazy? It's crazy. You can post 3 times a week and still be successful on Instagram. You do not need to be posting every day. You don't. You can post 3 times a week and do stories every day and still be successful on Instagram. Stories are almost more important than content. I usually like to say like your Instagram profile is like a magazine. People just kind of like flip through and they look through. And then your stories is like the behind the scenes. You're like, so you created a book, but now here's all the video tutorials, right? So people can get like a glimpse of what you are, what you're about. They can get some hard-hitting advice and content, but and we'll dive into stories in just a second. I'm getting lots of lost in my stories. But you need to have inspiration. You need to have connection. People need to say like, oh, me too. You need to really, oh, look. Comments are coming through on my thing finally. That's awesome. But you also need to have sales content and you need to have teaching content. A lot of your content on Instagram needs to be teaching. It needs to be a breakdown of step 1, step 2, step 3. And that first line needs to attract your clients. It needs to be how to, onboard or how to create 10 new clients for yourself in 10 days. And then you go into like more of the details. And then you could take that content and do a mini training on your stories that's even more in depth. Okay? So your content on your stories is going to be similar as well. You can do inspiration. You can share things that are inspiring you, things that you're excited about. You can share inspiration of like, this is what I do during my day. You're going to do connection content. What lights you on fire? What are you excited about? What do you love? I sometimes, like yesterday, I shared about cows on my stories. And so many people were like, yes, I love cows. And I'm like, great, I am talking to the right audience. So your content, like, it needs to be meaty. It needs to be like, people are like, yes, I want to save that. I want to share that. I want, that kind of feeling to it. And on Instagram, you really want to get more in depth. You want to get more in depth. People want to know more. They want to read more. You want them to click that read more. You want them to scroll through that read more. The longer people stay on your post, the better it does in the algorithm. Do you know that? The longer people stay on your post, the better it does in the algorithm. So hopefully that, stories, no wonder. Okay, any questions? You guys, if you have questions, feel free to drop them and I will come back and answer them as things go on. But that's content. Next, let's talk about stories. I'm trying to go fast because there's so much to cover. But we talked about some things that you can post in your stories. You really want people to connect with you in your stories. You can give them a behind the scenes. You can give them, this is like where you really tie in your personality. You can share things, but you really want people to see what it's like to work with you. You want them to see what it's like. Ooh, good. I'm looking at all of these comments as they're coming in because it's still comments are like, some comments, if you reply to other comments, apparently they're coming through, but they're not coming through on my phone. I don't know what's happening, friends. It's all right. Technical difficulties will just keep going. We'll just keep going. So for your stories, you really want to give that, you want to have that personality. You want them to see what it's like to work with you. What is it like to work with you? What are some actionable things that they can do right now? Like, in order to help yourself in the algorithm, you want them to stop. You know how you stop stories, you keep your finger on it, right? Hold to read. You want them to do that. You want to have a pattern interrupt. You don't want it to just all be like, hello, this is me today. Welcome, right? You want it to be a little bit different. You can do trainings on your stories. You can do like this is how I meal prep on your stories. You could do, these are a few of my favorite things on your stories. What is going to help people connect with you and convert in your stories? So do those pattern interrupts. Are you asking about for stories, Vincella? Do the layouts in Canva work well for this, or is video better? So you can do layouts in Canva, but I like to keep things more organic. There's also apps that you can download on your phone that will help you put stories together. There's tons of different ways. If you guys have a favorite app for your stories, I want you to share it and get some ideas. Good. And then think about, what are the things that you enjoy consuming? What types of stories do you enjoy watching? And how can you tweak those and shift them so that they work for your business and your brand? Okay. So be thinking about that. There's so many different things. Stories definitely needs like its own like half-hour masterclass because there's so much you can do with stories. So another thing you can do with stories is use hashtags that people are using. I used the Love is Blind hashtag the other day because I've been binge watching that, even though it's terrible and I hate it, but I love it. Because trash TV. I've been binge watching that and I use that in my stories, and I think like 100 people have seen my story with that hashtag because it pops up in the story for that specific. So when events are happening, when you know your ideal audience is going to be hanging out at events, you can use those hashtags that they're using because Instagram will show your story in the event story, which is really cool. And it's really, really beneficial for you to get your eyes in front of more people, or your story in front of more people, and get your account in front of more people. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about, hashtags. You guys, hashtags are amazing. I want you to drop me a 3 if you are struggling with hashtags. Drop me a 3 if you've been struggling with hashtags. What hashtags do you use? How do I use my hashtags to get people to follow me? How do I use my hashtags to find my ideal audience? So if that's you, drop a 3, let me know. I'm going to give it a second because, again, things are not working. I don't know why. Okay. Got the 3s coming in. Good. Okay. So good. This is going to be really helpful for you. So I know that a lot of you are probably confused on how many hashtags you should use. And the truth of the matter is you need to experiment. Some accounts do better with like 6 to 8 in the actual post and then the rest in a comment, right? So in the actual caption of the post and then the rest in a comment. Some accounts do better with everything in the comments. Some accounts do better with like 2 or 3 in the caption. Or some do better with everything in the caption, right? So it just depends. You need to experiment with that, but really you want to maximize your use of hashtags. You need to experiment to really figure out, okay, what are people really searching for? Ooh, girl, I had 84% of accounts find one of my posts from hashtag. That's awesome. That's awesome. Way to go, girl. But I like using all 30 of my hashtags because then I have lots of different ways for people to find me. But I get really nichey with my hashtags. I don't do the huge, super popular hashtags. If it has more than 500K, I usually won't use it. If it has more than 500K uses, I usually won't use it. And the reason being is because thousands of people are using that every single minute. And the goal for you is to be able to use a hashtag and pop up in like the top posts, not in the most recent posts, in the top posts. I have this really random photo of me and my dog where I posted for like National Pets Day, National Dog Day, I want to say, National Best Friend Dog Day, something like that. I have a photo of me and my dog, and I love my dog. She's the best. If you haven't met my dog yet, I'm so sorry. I need to post more photos of her. But I posted a photo of her, and I posted it last year. And this year, when National Pets Day, National whatever day it was, came around, people were finding me. I was on the top post page, and I probably had 100 new likes, and like 5 more people follow me from that post, from that hashtag, because I was on the top post page. So you really want to be on the top post page. It's a great way for you to find new people. And another thing you want to think about when you're using hashtags, what do you use to find the Ks? I want to know what you mean by that. Oh, you mean the 500K? Oh, okay. So like 500,000 people have used that hashtag in their 500,000 posts have been made with that hashtag. You can tap on a hashtag or you can search a hashtag and you can see how many posts have been used. But I really like to use like the niche hashtags that are like under 50K and the hashtags that are between 50 and 500. Those are the sweet spots. And you want to use a good, healthy mix of that, and you want to continue to mix it up. You cannot, I've said before to use like 4 different sets of hashtags. Not anymore. It doesn't work anymore. You have to mix it up. You can't use like the same, it can't be in the same pattern. It's crazy. Instagram is nuts. But it can't be in the same pattern. You can use the app hash, download it on your phone and upload all of your hashtags, and you can put them all in there, and then it will auto generate you 30 every time, which is really nice. So you can do like different themes for hashtags. Like I have a mindset one, I have a social media strategy one, I have a marketing one, I have a business strategy one, where I have like 30 to 50 hashtags, and it will mix them up and auto generate for me, which is super awesome. So do the research, look for what your ideal clients are looking for, and don't just use the ones that like people that are in your same realm are using, but use the ones that your ideal clients are searching for. Go look at their posts. What are they using? What are they interacting with? What do they care about? And engage with those hashtags. So going back to hashtags, like use those hashtags that you have in your posts. I like to tap on them, and then I go and engage with other posts. And that's how I bring more followers to me. That's how I bring more engagement to me. So, goodness gracious. Tech is not liking me today. But I want to hear you guys' questions around hashtags. But I spend like 20 to 30 minutes a day just getting like down the rabbit hole, using those hashtags, engaging with other people's posts, commenting on their posts. Don't just go through and like 4 things on their account. Nobody follows from that anymore. It used to work. It does not work anymore. That's the one thing about Instagram. If you're not willing to be dynamic and change and shift your strategy, you're not going to build sustainable business. You're not going to be able to really, truly build an audience that's highly engaged with you. So those are some things that you need to be thinking about if you decide. Okay, Hish Hash. It's called Hish Hash. I'll spell it out here. I'll just write it in the comments really quick. There you go. Hish Hash. So the last thing that I want to talk about, I want to hear you guys' more of your questions as we're going through, because this is the last thing I'm going to talk about, and I don't want to miss any of your questions if you have them, is DMs. This is a super secret tool that not enough people use. You need to be talking to people. Instagram is all about relationships. It's all about relationships. When I don't have a relationship with somebody, I'm not going to comment. I'm not going to engage with their post. If I don't really care, like maybe they give me some good information, but I don't have a relationship with them, I'm not going to comment on that post. I'm not going to engage with it. I need to have a relationship with you in order to be able to comment and engage on your post. So DMs are going to be incredibly helpful. When someone new follows you, how do you talk to them? Don't just say, hey, thanks for following me. What do you do? What's your business? No. Ask them about a specific post on their feed. Tell them that you really loved like the little tips they gave, or you're super excited for their son that just turned 4, or you're so, you want to help them with something specific that they posted about, right? Give them something specific to go off of and build a relationship. People are so tired of getting DMs that are like, hey, what do you do? Don't do that. Get specific. And then ask them, what do you do for a living? Tell me about it, right? What are your biggest struggles? What are your goals and aspirations? Okay, what do you need to overcome in order to reach that goal? And then see how you can fill in the cracks. Okay, that's where you start with building a relationship. That's where you start with building a relationship. But DMs can be, you can go through people's stories, send them a DM, be like, that's hilarious. That's going to help you build relationships. You can DM people that are voting in your poll. You can DM people that are interacting with your questions or things that you're asking on stories. They're consistently watching your stories. Interact with them. Care about them, right? You don't need a huge audience in order to be successful on Instagram. I see people with like 200, 300 followers being incredibly successful on Instagram because they're building a relationship and they're really focusing on that relationship, which is so important. It's so important for you to be able to start making sales, for you to have engagement, for you to have people that are really caring about your content, for you to really see what is working and what is not. Okay. I'm going to go through and answer some of these questions really quick. Should the hashtags be related to the actual post or what my whole Instagram page is about? Both. You want both. So I usually will delete like 5 hashtags and then I'll do like specifically what is this post about. But you should have like 5 different content topics that you're talking about. And that way you can have 5 different hashtag buckets to pull from. Okay, if you're going beyond that, if you're talking about all the things, then it's going to be too much for your audience. People know they can come to my account and they can find all things business strategy, social media tips, making sales, and online marketing, right? So that they have, oh my goodness, is there like a new reaction? I just saw like a random reaction that was like super weird. Anyways, but yes, so the answer is yes, they should be related to what everything. And then what is your ideal client searching? What is the industry that you're in? What is the offer what is the outcome? All of those things. Okay, next question. In stories, I like to do videos, but the last time I tried, I only had a few seconds. I think it's different now. Yes, so it is different now. You can record and it'll do things in a row, but you only have 4 slides. So you have to do it in under a minute. I like to do videos. Okay, I think, let me read that. Do you do the video right in the Insta app or can you do pre-record? Yeah, so you can pre-record things and then upload them to Instagram from your phone. So you can pre-record things. That's totally fine. I see lots of people doing that. You can pre-record things and then upload them to a Instagram Stories app. And then you can kind of do like all the designs that you want to, make it look pretty, and then continue. that. Okay, let's see if we got more questions. Make sure I answered. Okay, Mandy, can you explain the pattern thing again, please? I want to know what you mean by that. Go back to that. Okay, awesome. Whenever I get a new follower, I message them thinking, good. You should message new followers, say, thanks so much for following me. Maybe go through and like a couple of their posts. That's going to help build a relationship of trust. And then you can send them a message about something specific. That's a good way to start building a relationship. But don't just say, thanks for following me. Give them a little bit more. Yes, lives are a great thing to do on Instagram. Lives are a great thing to do on Instagram. Okay, awesome. All right. I'm hoping that I got all of the questions. If I did not, I will come back and answer your questions in a minute. But that is all I have for you today. Let me know if this was helpful for you. Let me know if there's something like really specific that you want me to dive into sooner rather than later. Later this week, I'm going to be doing another training on how to grow your group, how I grow your group, how I grow my group, not your group, how I grow my group. We'll be going through all of that. So if you have questions about that, you can ask them in the group or you can ask them on this, and I will make sure to write them down and get them answered on Friday's training. So super excited. Thank you guys so much for joining me live today. I hope this was helpful. I'm going to drop my Instagram so you guys can follow me and get some more platform-specific tips on Instagram. So I will catch you later. Thanks for being here.